right, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, and of course, this is your Arsenal Daily. We are going to be discussing some of the stories around our club, around Arsenal. Bukayo Saka's injury. Now, that is one of the things that you don't want to hear this early morning after going through beating Benfica, squeezing through past Benfica. You can call it what you want. But Saka did pick up a knock, and we're going to be discussing that. We're going to be looking at Mikel Arteta's press conference as well to see what does he talk about Saka, what does he talk about Dani Ceballos, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. For me, I think Saka was man of the match, Aubameyang was second man of the match, and Tierney for me was just exception. But we're going to be looking at that and see how long could actually Bukayo Saka be out for, because look, this is a month that has been very hard for us now. We have never had the easiest of fixtures. Wolves, Leicester City, Manchester City, Aston Villa, scary fixtures. And what is even more scarier is we have lost all those fixtures, almost all of them, apart from that Benfica cruise away. The rest of the fixtures, a loss to Wolves, a loss to Aston Villa, a loss to Manchester City. Literally, we have only won one game in the Premier League this month, and that is against Leeds. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a hat-trick, and Hector Bellerin with a beautiful goal. So apart from that, we have not actually got any results in the Premier League in this month. So now, if you concede an injury, of a player like Bukayo Saka, you know how hard it becomes. So let us go and see what Mikel Arteta did say after his press conference, and whether he actually talked about that injury, because I've picked up that story from Football.London. So here we go. Mikel Arteta on the injury crisis at Arsenal, of course, and the win, and Saka and Aubameyang, and the man you guys do not want to hear about, Dani Ceballos. On whether Saka and Aubameyang have kept our season alive, he was asked that. That's the first question he did answer to, and he said, well, it certainly keeps the season going in a much better way, because this competition is going to help in the Premier League a lot. It joins everyone together to have something important to play for, and today would have been really harsh if it has happened in two legs, but to be out of the competition, I'm really extremely happy with the result, and of course everybody is happy with the result. And I agree with Mikel Arteta. I think the Europa League now is the only source of hope, the only source of light Arsenal do have, and if you're out of the Europa League, it literally means there is no hope, there is no reason to play for, and it would actually greatly affect our performances in the Premier League. So to keep our hopes going in the Premier League, you still need to be inside. You need to be in the competition. You need to be in Europa League. You need to have something you set your eyes on. And I think if we put it in the back of our heads that we can actually win the Europa League, although I think it would be something very hard and challenging, but it will help our performances in the Premier League subsequently. On whether he was worried about Auba's winner would be disallowed, he said, well, I was worried because we had one overturn that was really tight as well, so anything can happen, and we cannot see the line. My impression was that he was onside because I didn't know, so the celebration isn't the same, but at the end what counts is that it went in. And of course, it was a very beautiful goal. I think there are times when the assist is more beautiful than the goal. I'm gonna say Saka's assist was more beautiful than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's goal. And every Arsenal fan out there, whether you want to agree or disagree, you have to admit there's that point in time where you thought he was offside, because if you look at the immediate man, his immediate defender, he was past him, so that means he was literally offside. But then below him, there was that Benfica defender. I think it would have been Toby Alderweireld. I think no, not Toby, but of course Jan Vertonghen, who was who made him onside, and that is how lucky we were. On potentially facing Tottenham Hotspur in the next round, he said, "You never know. In this draw, there is going to be so funny some funny games because there are a lot of teams left in the competition still. Let's see. We will celebrate today a little bit because it's been a roller coaster, as you said. Then you'll have a nice dinner and recover because on Sunday we have a big game once again. And look, if there is a big team I want to dump out of the Europa League at this moment, it's Spurs. I don't think we need to be afraid of Spurs. Our only problem as Arsenal, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, we get too scared of big games. Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Liverpool, like we get too scared. We become like a small team like Leeds. But right now, if there is a team you want to play and you want to throw them out, it's Jose Mourinho's Spurs. They're not having a good run. They don't have confidence. They have nothing on their side. If you're given Spurs right now, you can throw them out because at the end of the day, the more you dodge these big giants, you're gonna find them in the semi-finals. You're gonna find them in the finals. So for me, I would rather play Spurs on the round of 16, put them out of this competition, and then maybe finally on the quarterfinals they give me someone easier. On the semi-finals, I'd rather face United on the semi-finals rather than face United in the finals. So I think, yeah, Spurs is scary. It's too early in the in the competition to face Spurs. Everybody's gonna say that, but when do you want to face them? If you're gonna face them, on the semi-finals, and the pressure is too high, you might not beat them because Mourinho and his mind games and is very good at knockouts. So you'd rather beat him or onto the round 16, he gets out, and then you progress to the quarterfinals. So I would rather take Spurs. I would take Spurs. On what's going on through his head on what was going on through his head in the 87th minute, he says, no, I don't think we would have. He says, no, I don't think we would have deserved it to go out. The reality is that we gave them 2 goals in the 2 legs, and when we gave them 3 goals. We gave them 3 goals, not 2 goals. We gave them 3 goals in 2 legs. And he says the reality is we gave them 2 goals in 2 legs, and when you do that against any opponent, and an opponent with the quality of Benfica, you're going to be in trouble. That's why we were in trouble. We gave away penalty in a situation that we knew was going to happen, and then today we gave away a goal after our own corner. After that, our reaction, the reaction of the team, the belief, and what I was sensing on the pitch and how much they wanted it gave me hope. We changed it and tried to be more of a threat, more attacking, and I'm especially happy about Danny, because he is a player that lives this profession like is the most important thing in his life. And when he had a mistake, and when he had made a mistake, if that would have caused the team to be out of the competition, it would have been mentally really tough. That's when you need players in the team like the ones we have with Auba and Bukayo, creating and scoring the goals to save him out of a difficult situation. Created a really nice moment. And I think so many people are very tough on Dani Ceballos. Now look, I don't rate him anymore. I do not really rate him. And I wouldn't say Arsenal should sign him unless he's gonna be a bench player or something like that. But I don't want to blame him so much. He caused 2 goals yesterday. Okay, 2 mistakes, 2 goals. But I think he had a good game. I said that in the player ratings, and I said again, I think he had a very good game despite his mistakes. Yeah, so we shouldn't be very hard on him. And of course, Arteta is right. If it's a nightmare. You create 2 mistakes, you make 2 mistakes, and then they cost the team, a Europa League, maybe run. It's going to be very hard on you, and of course he has to be very thankful on SAKA. On SAKA's overall performance and his nerves of steel, he says it is nerves of steel, and as well because he's really fatigued. He's a player, he's played a lot of times and he hasn't much rest. We asked him to go again and produce this moment, and the boy has done it against a really difficult formation with the way they were so deep and they were very, very small spaces, but he's found a way to do it again. So the fatigue could have caused the little knock, the injury, but let us pray he will be available for Leicester City. On how football can be like poetry, he did say that yes, that was the first instance Aubameyang's miss against Olympiacos that came into my head when he scored. I didn't know if VR was going to allow the goal, and then with the last action, they were offside as well. They had the chance. So this is the beautiful thing about football. If you keep going always, you have the chance to put it right. On if the team showed it could perform under pressure, he said yes, absolutely. We had better moments in the game than others, but I think everybody had the courage to play the way that we wanted to. They gave absolutely everything with the amount of games that we have played and the intensity that they are playing out, how much they're trying, and I really thank them for that. I think it's going to be an important moment in the competition to learn how to overcome difficulty and still achieve what we want. On how Danny Ceballos was feeling when the goal went in, he said, I'm especially happy for him because he really loves this game and he does everything in the right way to be prepared as possible. You can see how he celebrates every single goal. He doesn't have a 10-year contract at the club. He's on loan and still still feels and defends this club in the best way possible. I think someone like him deserves good things to happen to him in football. Now that I hope that doesn't mean he's going to get a contract at Arsenal because he doesn't deserve it. Because celebrating goals doesn't mean you need a contract, does it? On how hard it is managing the team with the way with away goal hanging over us. He said it is challenging because you know that that a clean sheet takes you through to the next level of the competition, but you can't play with that in your mind from the first minute because it's going to affect your way of doing things. I don't think we did that today. We scored a really good goal, to be fair. They didn't create any chances, any shots. The first shot they created, they scored a beautiful individual action, and after that, the tie becomes completely different because there is no extra time. Then it's all open and all for the taking. And look, I think I do agree with Mikel Arteta, but where I might disagree with them is like we played for a 0-0. We were playing a game where we knew a 0-0 would take us through. If Benfica had not scored an equalizer, the game was gone. I think it would have ended a 0-0 or a 1-0. And I think it was in our favor for Benfica to score. On what the manner of the win will do moving forward, and it says as one of your colleagues mentioned, it happened last year against Olympiacos. It was really difficult a really difficult one to swallow. We were having a very, very strange and difficult season with the challenges that we all know about. So to have some good moments, some beautiful moments, celebrate together as a team is very important. In this competition over the two legs, you're going to have difficulties. It's going to be players sent off. It's going to be refereeing decisions. It's going to be a mistake. You concede an early goal. You have to react to it, and you have to know that you are capable of doing so when a positive experience is in the back of your mind instead of a negative one. I think it's much more powerful and much more convincing from everyone to try to do. On the importance of KNT and his goal, he said absolutely, and you mentioned the right word because that is the way I would describe him, which is all determination and passion for what he does. The way he has come back from his injury and is willing, and how willing he is to try and help the team, it gives us a big, big lift. After that, I think I have to mention the subs because all of them, when they came in, made a difference. With Willian especially, I think he changed the game, and he gave us much more composure, moments of creativity. He produced a goal for Kian and Tierney, and we need everybody on board as this competition has the possibility to make 5 subs, which is a big bonus. On why he didn't bring on Pepe or Gabriel Martinelli, he said because there wasn't much space to run in behind. It was really tight, 2 lines, 4-4-1-1 or 5-3-2 at times. They were really they were a really, really low block, not much space to run apart from when they set the line around the 18-yard box. You need people to unlock that with special qualities in tight spaces to create movement, and I think Willie was really helpful tonight. Yeah, I think he got this right, and I think one of the things Mikel Arteta knows, and I'm gonna give him credit for that, not because I really like him, but I think he does it, is he knows how to change games when they're going on. Those in-game decisions. This one is not working. I better bring on this. I think it happened against Manchester United when he started Gabriel Martinelli, and Aaron Van Bissaka actually bullied Gabriel Martinelli and brought in Willian in the second half, just at the beginning of the second half, and actually he changed the whole game. I think that's one of his very, very big strengths. He really changes games within. On Aubameyang, showing you can trust him in the key moments. He said, I completely trust him because we produce the chances, and with Auba, that when he gets the chances, he's going to score goals. That's the last few days after the game in Rome against him. He missed 3 opportunities that are normally 3 goals for him, and he needed to react. And it's great to see that. It's great to see the way he reacted is by being upset and trying to be better, and not just feeling sad for himself in this moment. I'm really pleased with how he did tonight. So of course, that is Mikel Arteta speaking to the media after we did beat the club itself, Benfica, the press conference, and trying to tell us how Aubameyang was great, Bukayo Saka was great. So that little knock of Bukayo Saka, I think it might not count because he doesn't really talk about much of it. So maybe that means he will actually be available to play for us. Smash like on this video, and I'll speak